It's 35 degrees Celsius outside and it's 30 degrees in my room. It's crazy hot, but I still wanna play with makeup, and I decided to show you my these crazy hot days makeup routine, and I will give you some options. So let's get started. By the way, hi, my name is Serafima, and here is our safe space to relax and talk everything beauty. All the products I'll show you today I've already tested at least a bunch of times in this hot, humid environment I live in, and they perform nicely. They do not look horrific or melt away in several hours, and yes, I hope you will find something for you too in this video. I've already applied this Skin 1004 Tea-Trica Sun Milk around 15 minutes ago. It is very lotiony, feels quite lightweight, but it gives very glossy finish, and it is a tiny bit sticky on the skin, but I love the finish, so I use it. For a foundation, I will use these two products: NYX Make Me Wonder foundation in the shade Vanilla, and Catrice True Skin Concealer in the shade, I think it's 010 Cool. With most of the foundations, and I mostly like more hydrating and lightweight foundations, I use foundation first and then I add a concealer. But with this one, I switch these steps because this foundation is very matte. It sets on the skin quite fast, and I feel that applying concealer on top of it can cause into some patches, and it won't look great. Actually, I've tried I think 2 times applying concealer on top of it, and it wasn't flattering. So I will apply this concealer first. It is very thin with I think semi-matte finish, but it doesn't dry my under eyes at all. My under eyes tend to be dried by concealers, and everything creases on me because I have hooded eyes and tends to sit into the fine lines. But this concealer, despite it is not very buttery and hydrating, it performs very nice. It doesn't make my under eyes look too dry, and I really like it. Actually, in such hot days like this, I quite often use just this concealer, apply it all over my face, blend it out. It gives enough time to blend it out. It doesn't set immediately because it's not just matte. And it feels very nice as a foundation, but I wanted to show you more products, more options. So I'll apply just it on my eyes and under eyes. You can see it gives a nice medium coverage. It covered up my darkness under the eyes, not completely, but enough to look refreshed. Overall, thin and a little bit mattifying concealers do not work nicely on my combination skin. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But this one I really can recommend even for skin prone to dryness because it looks beautiful. Now we can proceed with this foundation. We need to shake it a little bit, and I try to apply it very quickly. Firstly, I squeeze it on my hand. Then I apply it with my finger like these dots on the half of my face, so I have time to blend it out, because if I applied it on my whole face, it can already set on some places and it will be hard to blend it out. You see that it instantly gives a lot of coverage, and it's really cool because it's not the case with more hydrating foundations I usually use. Actually, it has enough coverage to do all the work that concealer does, but I prefer to put concealer first because I don't like how this foundation itself looks under my eyes. It tends to dry them. I see more fine lines and wrinkles this way, so I like to put a concealer first, like a more hydrating protective layer between skin and this foundation. You can clearly see difference with foundation, without foundation. It evens out my skin very nicely. I like this effect, and it looks very beautiful on the skin, not like a lot of other matte foundations. It doesn't cling to little facial hair. It doesn't look like it sits on top of the skin. It blends very nicely, and yeah, it doesn't emphasize my pores. I don't really have problem with big pores, but yes, some products can emphasize them, but this one does not, and I'm very happy with how it looks. And I also like that it doesn't make my skin look lifeless and grayish. It definitely leaves a little bit of glow from my skincare, from my sunscreen, and I really appreciate it. I don't see a lot of creasing on my lid, and it is very impressive considering I have very hooded eyes, and my under eyes look quite okay. But the only thing with this foundation, it can emphasize a little bit these fine lines on my forehead, so I need to spend a little bit more time evening it out, and then I like to set it a little bit with powder. I'm not a powder fan. I don't use a lot of it, only on my eyelids before eye makeup, but let's do it. And the only powder I always go back to is this very cheap Essence Brighten Up banana powder. Yeah, right. It is so good. As a person who doesn't like powders, I really enjoy this one. I use a powder puff, take it out, take excess product on my hand, and what's left I carefully tap wherever I need it. And it's a gorgeous powder because it doesn't take life out of the skin. It doesn't look powdery. It doesn't look heavy on the skin, and it doesn't take away all the glow you have. And I really recommend it because it costs $3 or $4, I think, and you have a lot of product here. I think it's 9 grams, so it will last you forever. This one I'm using for about 2 years now, and it's nowhere near to be finished. I forgot to show you some other options for foundation. This one, new foundation from Essence, Silky Blur Hydrating Foundation. It is also semi-matte, more on the matte side. It is nice, it is quite easy to work with, but it doesn't set that good like this foundation. This one almost doesn't transfer at all, so you can wear it with your whites and be relatively safe. But this one can transfer more. It requires more powder to set it, and I have it in the shade 115, and it is a little bit dark for me, so I just don't grab it as much as this one. But this one costs, I think I bought it for around $16 or even more, and this one costs $6 or $7, so very big difference in price, and this one is still very good. And the other thing is this concealer from TFIT. It is Korean brand, and you have 3 shades in here. It is very nice. It is waxy, quite melty, but not too much. It is also semi-matte, and I really like it as a concealer. But when I want to cover all my face, it is not the best option because, yes, it is quite waxy and it requires more effort to blend it on this big area like the whole face. But if you don't have very much redness or you don't need to cover up your whole face, it is very nice. I really recommend it. Then I usually apply a blush, and overall I love cream blushes much more than powder ones, but when it's that crazy hot outside, I would definitely recommend powder blushes over cream blushes. And especially baked formulas, I feel that they perform the best and they feel more long-lasting and look more seamless than any other powder products. And my favorite baked blush ever is this Mineralize blush from MAC, especially in the shade Dainty. It is gorgeous product. I'm so happy they don't remove it from the line because beauty brands love to do that. And this is, it's so good. It is one of the most long-lasting blushes in my collection, in my whole collection, and I love it very much. It doesn't swatch really well. Well, it swatches okay, and it gives beautiful, not mattified, but blurred and a little bit silky glowy finish. Not glowy, but this silky smooth application. I love to apply it with dense blush, work it in the blush, and it is not very pigmented, so I do not take excess product. I can go directly to my cheek. It is such a beautiful color and such a gorgeous formula. I love it. I know it is quite pricey, but it is so beautiful. One of my favorite blushes ever, and this one I've already had for, I think almost 5 years, and it is still going strong. And despite we have this matte foundation on and everything initially tends to cling to it, but this blush blends very nicely. I think I don't see any patches. Gorgeous. I usually do a little bit of contouring with my blush and overall apply it a lot of on my face, on my nose, on my chin, a little bit on my lid and on my temple, and a little bit even on my forehead, and I like the effect we get. Also from the powder blushes, I really love and can really recommend these blushes from Flower Nose. I have 3. Initially I bought this one in the brightest shade. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's their Sweetheart Bear collection, if I remember correctly. It was released last autumn, and they have gorgeous embossment, and everything is gorgeous about Flower Nose. And then I couldn't stop myself and bought another 2 shades. They are adorable, and they are more on a neutral, muted side. They are also gorgeous. Embossment here you can see more clearly because I used them less. They came to me like 2 weeks ago. So yes, I'm so happy, and I really like this formula. It is, it feels almost also like a baked blush. It is not matte, but it doesn't have a lot of glow. Also, it gives, like the MAC one, nice, smooth, silky effect on the skin. Yeah, I can't get enough of them. But if you are a person that just, I don't know, despises powder blushes and you want cream blush always, even in the hot summer, I can recommend you this palette from Catrice. It is a blush palette. You also have a highlighter here, but highlighter is it's beautiful, but it's very melty, it doesn't set at all. But the blushes, you have a very nice, also this muted nude range with a little bit of color, and they are very pigmented. Let me show you some of my favorite colors. I think, yeah, they are gorgeous, very pigmented, and they apply easily, quite melty, quite buttery, but they set on the face a little bit. They don't feel sticky, they are very user-friendly, and you have a bunch of options here. So yes, a very nice cream powder, oh my god, very nice cream blush that sets on the face, and yeah, you can use it even in the hot weather. About the bronzers, somehow I started use them much more rarely than 2 years ago and previously. But if I use a bronzer, it would be from Kiko Milano. Their baked formulas are gorgeous. This one is from limited collections, and I recommend you to buy bronzers exactly from their limited collections. The formula is the same throughout the years, just the packaging is customized for their new themes, and it is gorgeous. Gorgeous, beautiful formula, nice and universal, and the pigmentation is moderate. I use a fluffy brush for this purpose and very carefully apply it to define my face structure. It gives a nice shadow and also a little bit more tan, sun-kissed look. And I love that their bronzers are not orange at all. Very nice, very neutral. It's literally the only powder bronzer I can recommend you from Kiko Milano because it's so good. Also from Hourglass. Hourglass has gorgeous bronzers and blushes in baked formula, but the price, I can't pay that much money for makeup. Well, here what we have. I'm very satisfied with our powder correction. Then I do my clear brow gel. I still haven't found the perfect one for me, so I would be satisfied both with price and with performance. The Maybelline one is nice, but I think it's quite pricey, actually. My favorite products, my favorite brow gels are from Belarus brands, Luxe Visage and something else I don't really remember, but they are not globally available, and I myself don't have constant access to them, so I need something European to have in this category. So now I use Wet n Wild Mega Stay Brow Gel. It is okay, but it's not my favorite, I guess. The hold is moderate and I don't like this short wand. It's not convenient to me to use it. For the eye makeup, I have such a genius hack, especially for those of you who also struggles with creasing on hooded eyelids, and I'm so happy I found this hack. It is using such viral right now jelly sticks I have from Essence, and they work perfectly. First of all, they are very fun. They feel cooling on the skin. They are very easy to apply. You just swipe them on your eyelids. Yeah, and Catrice, I said Essence or Catrice? It's from Catrice, Drunken Diamonds Jelly Topper and Drunken Diamonds Eyeshadow Stick. Jelly toppers are more sheer, like on the translucent base. We have some glitters, very beautiful, very nice, but very nude, and eyeshadow sticks. They do have more of a base color, so they are more like one and done eyeshadows, and they are very long lasting. They set immediately and they don't go anywhere, like anywhere. If you like do this, maybe a little bit of glitters are left on my finger, but not much, and here they are. But you may say, I don't want to use just these eyeshadow sticks, just these limited colors. I want to use my eyeshadow palettes, my glitters, my sparkles. And the hack is apply, I think, a more sheer one from them, like this eyeshadow topper. You apply it all over your lid like an eye primer. And it works so good. I apply it firstly everywhere, especially there where everything creases. I blend it out a little bit, apply a little bit more, and now we don't have like a whole look, but we have a nice sheer sparkly base, and now we let it sit for around a minute. It doesn't require that, but I feel that works better. And then on top of this base, we can use other glitters, other sparkles, other eyeshadows. Especially I like this hack for my sparkles, because most of my sparkles are more on the creamy side and they crease like immediately, especially when it's so hot outside. But if you like to use matte shadows first, you also can use it on top of this eyeshadow stick. But if you use a lot of matte eyeshadows firstly and only then you add sparkle, maybe it can work for you even like that and you won't need a stick. But I don't know, when it's 35-40 degrees outside, I usually don't want to do like a complicated look, and this hack is like perfect. And then I take some of my favorite sparkles. This is an amazing eyeshadow palette from Chinese brand Shin Effect. It is 12 shades of nice duochrome sparkles, and they are not actually very creamy. It's also good for our purposes. It won't crease a lot initially, and with this stick it will last a really long time. With this hack, wow, with this hack my eye makeup stays without creasing for 3 hours easily, and then maybe I need to take my finger and like swipe it over my eyelid to refresh the color, but overall it's much better than without the stick. Let's add a little bit of yellow in the inner corner. It's so pretty, I can't. And the same palette, the same shade that is all over my lid, I use as a highlighter. I like these duochrome sparkles so much. There are 3 palettes in the range, this range of this brand, and I have 3 of them. I will need to do proper swatches and show them to you. Also, I newly discovered this palette from Revolution, from their Icon series. It's called the Celestial Icon, and it is so gorgeous. It also has duochromes, blue and pink here, and it is gorgeous. Actually, let's add a little bit of blue under the brow. It is very sparkly, very beautiful. As for the eyeliner, one of my absolute favorites is from also Chinese brand Judy Doll. It is slim liquid eyeliner. I have the shade 04 Gray Brown. It has the thinnest tip ever. It is very easy to use and very long lasting. Perfect to do such little wings. I had to correct my wings a little bit to make them similar, but they're not so little anymore, but still okay. For the long-lasting mascara, you can get any Korean mascara. They are mostly waterproof, and they are so waterproof. You will have a real struggle to get it off your lashes. And for very hot weather and humid, it is a good thing, but yeah, you have to be aware that it's hard to remove, very hard to remove. I have one from Kasnori in the rosy brown shade. It is very nice, but a lot of Korean mascaras are quite similar. They won't give you much of a volume, but they are lengthening, they are separating, and they give you a nice curl and overall cute natural look. And from the European market, I won't stop recommending this Sky High mascara from Maybelline, especially in the burgundy shade. It is gorgeous. I like this mascara a lot. Mine is almost dried out, but it works perfectly. I actually had it and were actively using it for more than a year. I know about expiration dates, about all of that, but it works out still quite nicely for me. Mascaras overall tend to fall off my lashes, tend to make me these panda eyes, but this one does not. One of few that does not. And I'm a fan. I've already yesterday I think got a blue one, and I will play with it definitely. I like this one. I don't apply it too much. I don't like to layer mascaras a lot. I go for this natural effect, so one layer of it and I'm good to go. It is a little bit voluming, it is definitely lengthening, and it's quite okay in separating lashes. That's the look I go for with mascaras. I don't want more volume or more bright lashes. So yes, I like my lashes to look like this and to stay like this. I put a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes, and actually it is a mistake for me at least, because even with this formula, I just forgot about it, even with this formula during summer, lower lashes mascara can fall off them and make panda eyes. So yeah, I don't know. It's okay for today, but if you have such problems, I do not recommend to apply mascara on your lower lashes during summer. And finally, for the lips, I really do recommend you to try Korean glossy lip tints. They are amazing. These are my favorite formulas in such juicy glossy lip tints ever. This one is from Peripera. It's their old version, but you can still buy it. Yeah, it's Ink Mood Glowy Tint. I have it in 5 shades, and it is very glossy, very long lasting. The shade range is nice, but it can oxidize a little bit and tend to appear more darker than you initially applied it. But I love this formula already for 5 or even more years, so instant favorite. And this one is also from Peripera, is their reformulation. It's just Mood Glowy Tint, and it feels the same as their old formula, but the only thing that changed is the packaging. It became more stylish, more cute, and the scent, it changed, and for me personally it became less tasty than their old versions. Let me check. Yeah, this one smells like candy, and this one there is a sour cosmetic note in it. And also I like a lot this formula from Lily by Red. Feels almost the same on the lips. It is very moisturizing, doesn't dry lips, very long lasting. The tint is very bright. So yes, it is amazing. So I can recommend all of them very much. Also, I quite like this lip IV from NYX, but I like how it looks when you apply it. It is very glossy, very shiny, but it is quite hard to work with because it is so pigmented. If you're not careful enough, it can transfer on your teeth and it is horrible. And it is, yeah, the gloss on this tint is very pigmented also, so if you're not very careful with it, it will look not very nice. But how I like to use it, I like to apply it while I have something to do before going out. Leave it for 10 or 15 minutes, then I remove this glossy layer and I'm left with just a bright tint on my lips, and then I apply I'm sorry, I apply any lip gloss. Personally, I love lip glosses from Kiko Milano, and I'm good to go. But for today, let's apply this original Peri Peri lip tint. I don't remember the shade and I can't read it here, so I will write it somewhere here. It is very beautiful, a little bit muted. It is so pretty. I like to blend the edges with my finger. It makes this soft, a very Asian vibe. I really can recommend it. Well, that's it. We have a full, very pretty makeup that will stay put and look decent throughout even the hottest day. And I am very happy about it, and I can recommend every product I show you. I do recommend them, and I guarantee that they are very long lasting and they will help you in this situation when you want to apply makeup, you won't play with makeup, but the weather is crazy hot and humid. So I hope you found something interesting for you, or maybe you already tried some of these products. Share your experience with them. I'm very curious, and maybe you have another recommendation of long-lasting and maybe even waterproof makeup for summer. Share everything down in the comments, and thank you for watching this video till the end. Please consider liking and subscribing, it will help my channel a lot, and see you in my next video. Bye!